Alright, so, people of the Earth, I know you hunger for it. I know you crave it like the slavering masses that you are. That thing that will get you through the week and fill your heads with the knowledge you seek. Heathen Dogs. Earthdawn excitement.
Thank you very much, Garthon. And to note to you, whenever you get loud, you get warbled.
I do that on purpose.
Okay. Oh, then you're succeeding wonderfully.
Awesome.
Okay, everyone. Today I'm going to go over the last regular episode of Earthdawn, parenthetical, based on first edition experience. This one is a couple of notable places. Now, there's two main places in Earthdawn. One of them is Barsave. The game of Earthdawn takes place mainly in the region called Barsave. Barsave is a loose collection of city-states held together only by their desire to remain free from the second important place, Thera slavery, Thera. So these are the two places I'm going to briefly overview. Now, first is Throal. If any of the Barsavian city-states had a chance to be a capital, like they ever got it together and formed an actual country, Throal would be it. I mean, during the Theran occupation, the government of Throal was tasked to be Thera's administrating authority, which means they were the ones who were the buffer between the oppressors and the oppressed. And they commiserated with the oppressed, and they learned how all of the city-states functioned, all the main people, what they liked, what they don't like, which gave them a great advantage once Thera was gone for a few hundred years. Plus, the Book of Tomorrow allowed Throal to unify Barsave after the Scourge so it could remain free. Now, in my very first episode, I spoke of the Scourge, the centuries-long time when everyone had to huddle inside caves and underground because the 99.999% of the earth was run afoul with supernatural evil beings, and living on the surface was absolutely impossible. Now, Thrall, the king of Thrall, understood this and understood that Thera, their oppressors, would have to be gone as well. So they created the Book of Tomorrow. The Book of Tomorrow is a guidebook into recreating society, how to plant crops, how to rotate them, how to build structures, how to build roads, how to read and write Dwarvish, which is the main race in Thrall.
Which on the surface could sound kind of silly, but you have to think, if you're locked in caves for 300 years avoiding your own death, basic knowledge like how to build a house might be lost.
Oh yeah, no, it probably is going to be lost at some point. I mean, especially races that don't have as long a life as, say, elves or dwarves. Like, for example, orcs. The eldest orc only lives to be 40 or 45. So they're going to go through a number of more and more generations throughout the centuries underground, and that's just more chance for knowledge to be lost. So the Book of Tomorrow not only gave you practical knowledge of what you'll need when you leave, but a common structure that everyone would, over the centuries, instinctually adopt. One of those is that slavery is wrong. So at the end of the Scourge, and when everyone came out from their little hidey holes, everyone had the basic framework to understand each other on at least the most basic level. They all spoke and read Dwarvish. It became the French of the 17th, 18th, and then 19th centuries, the language of commerce and trade.
The lingua franca, as they would say.
Ugh, I don't like to speak French because I don't like French that much, but it was a good example.
I would think you of all people would love France.
No, I am part French Canadian.
You seem French Canadian.
That's
all I'm saying.
But I know, but I'm also half German. So French Canadians are asses, Germans are asses. I'm an asshole squared. I hate myself. I hate my lineage. I hate it all. They're all stupid, especially French Canadians. You're not French. You're Canadian. Stop trying to be French all the time. Oh, you're going to secede from Canada. Anyway, stop it.
This message brought to you by the love of Heathen Dog.
That's Heathen Dogma.
Stop being French.
Canadians, stop being French. French, you're doomed. Okay, well then when we go on, well, why would Thera enslave an entire region of people? I mean, what's the end game? Why would they want to do this? Well,
Right.
there's a
What do you
short
gain
and a
from
long
that?
answer. Short answer is because they could. They alone had the only means of surviving the approaching apocalypse. You want to know it too? Super! Become part of the Great Therian Empire, and we'll give it to you. And a lot of people bent just to that. I mean, some of the more powerful city states had, wanted, they negotiated a little better, but you could negotiate out of the main bold print, which is you are a vassal to the Therian Empire. Now, the long answer is the founder of Thera and the first to see the scourge centuries coming in the future was an elf from Barsave. He was kicked out of the Wormwood, which is the seat of elven power and identity, and he wandered the land, and he found this island. And on this island, he found some tablets. Well, it took the rest of his life, but he deciphered the first of them, which he called the First Book of Harrow, which told of the coming of the scourge and the signposts to the apocalypse. As it's getting closer, these things will happen.
So
As magic gets
basically,
stronger.
what you're saying is like a group had already been through a scourge and had wiped out, left these behind or something.
Yes, and he found them, and he deciphered the first one, and because of this, they all believed him because the first two signposts had already come to pass. So they built the great library, and then as the island got bigger and bigger, they called it Thera, and everyone who is anyone in magical knowledge went here to study. So this place became the end all be all of magical power. So the short answer is because they could. I mean, they had the magical might of the world with them. And the longer answer is, well, I spoke about patterns a few segments ago. Now, because Thera's pattern comes from an elf from Barsave, Thera is attached to Barsave. The Great Therian Empire's pattern is forever linked to the pattern of Barsave because that's where it was basically born.
Makes sense.
Exactly. Now, if you harken back to when I spoke about patterns and patterned items, if you use an axe to call shot people in the head, and you do it for years, and you get really good at it, this axe will become a pattern item of you. And now you can strengthen your attachment to this pattern to make it do what you always make it do even better. So if Thera conquers Barsave, they can strengthen the link between Thera and Barsave, with Thera being on top, of course. And Barsave's pattern will strengthen the pattern of Thera, therefore making sure that Thera's power never leaves the earth. But the reverse is also true. If Barsave were to somehow get their act together, conquer Thera, that means Thera's pattern will forever power Barsave's pattern. Whoever controls both lands can make the other one can make theirs much stronger.
That makes very much sense.
Yeah. And they are seriously corrupt. I want you to think Rome right before the fall. Slavery, no legal presence for non-citizens, bribery and graft are commonplace, all hidden behind literally golden streets and floating cities. I mean, everyone literally is a barbarian walking into Thera. I mean, it's in that instance, I wouldn't even consider it like Rome, whereas Rome considered all non-Romans barbarians because you're not up to our level of technology. Well, some cultures did have technology and customs approaching the level of Rome, but Roman pride wouldn't allow them to acknowledge this. There is no culture, name giver culture besides dragons, that remotely approach the base magical level of Thera. None. There isn't any.
So is Thera left untouched by the scourge, or were their methods just better than the rest of Barsave?
Thera was in more danger than any other place during the scourge because they had so much magical power concentrated in one place. All of the other dimensional horrors would be just attracted to this like a magnet. So that's another reason they created this empire, because they could use all of their empire's resources to strengthen their island. So throughout the hundreds of years they were preparing for the scourge, I wouldn't say raped the other lands, but I wouldn't say they were treated fairly in trade all the time either.
Yeah, they
So
essentially took them for all they could.
Yeah, took them for all they could without them revolting.
And from their perspective, it's kind of like, hey guys, I've got the answer to save you, but I'm a big target, so I need 75% of your crap. So otherwise, they were the Negan of their day.
Right. So they were completely justified in this thinking because they had the greatest civilization, they had the greatest danger, so they would get the lion's share of the resources. And to them, it made absolutely perfect sense.
And if you don't
So
like
that's
it,
how
I'm
they
just gonna
survived
take
the
it.
scourge. Yeah, they actually covered their island in a dome of magical air imbued with magical fire that any horror that touched it instantly just burned to death.
So in theory, there's a great big circle around Thera of horror corpses.
No. I mean, burned to nothing. I mean,
Wow.
this is some serious magic. They were basically disintegrated.
Very nice.
Yeah, I'm sure the air isn't very nice, but there's no horror bodies laying around. Okay, now both of these lands and cities have so much more depth, so much more intrigue and drama and backstory. I couldn't focus on just Throal and have it be less than an hour. So of course there's more, but I want you to buy the book.
Yeah.
A rich and deep history has been written and presented for your consumption. Go out and take it. If you buy this game and have any player read the history of this fantastically complex and compelling world, they will beg you to run it. That's it.
I mean, I must
Give
say,
them
I
10
really
minutes.
do prefer the backstory and history and world setting of Earthdawn compared to any of the Dungeons and Dragons worlds. Forgotten Realms.
Yes.
I like Forgotten Realms, and I really like Greyhawk. I thought Eberron was crap, and Dark Sun was kind of laughable. But it was entertaining, but it was also kind of, come on now. But Earthdawn's backstory just kicks the crap out of it.
All of it. Kicks crap out of all of it. I mean, the only other game that I can think of now that comes close is Shadowrun, but that's only because of Earthdawn. And Shadowrun came first.
It did, but also Shadow and Earthdawn are actually linked in timeline.
See, I don't know if they are anymore. See, in first edition Earthdawn, this in 1993 and 94, when it came out, FASA controlled both Earthdawn and Shadowrun and purposely linked these worlds through time. But then when Earthdawn was sold to I think it was first Red Brick Games.
Yeah, was it Red Brick or Kitchen Sink first? Something like that.
I don't know. I thought it was Red Brick Games. They had to sever it because they kept Shadowrun.
Right.
So they could no longer continue writing connections.
Well, even if they're not officially linked anymore, they're still very strongly linked.
Yes. Oh yes. I mean, in my mind, I don't care. I don't care what they say about fourth edition. No, it's not really linked. Even though we own it again, it's not really linked to Shadowrun anymore. No, it is. Shut up. It is.
One thing I find interesting is, like we're talking about here, they come from the same company. Now, when we all played for like a year and a half, 2 years, whatever, back in the day, and I have touched upon Shadowrun, but I do not remember the Shadowrun rules. And I find it, please correct me if I'm wrong, funny that if it's supposed to be the same world by the same company, they didn't use the same game mechanics, or did they?
Oh no! The reason being because there was so much space in between the two. I mean, one didn't come out the year before the other. Shadowrun came out in '88 or '89, and Earthdawn came out in '93 or '94. So that's a long enough period of time to where you have a whole new developing team that's on the payroll. You have a whole new director. You are going in a whole new direction because so many people in your company have not worked on Shadowrun before. So they wanted to do a different dice system, a different attribute system and figured stat system, but they wanted to keep the feel. They wanted to be able to link it through occurrences, through common meta magic knowledge, through all this stuff, and they did it successfully. It was great.
They did, and you got to think that I didn't hate to cut you off. But I actually prefer the step system. But the D6 system used in Shadowrun works better for the way they nest their skills, or at least in the older editions. I'm not sure the newest edition.
Yes. See, yeah, I have first and second edition Shadowrun because that's what I do. I see a game I like, I go out and buy all the current edition, and I just happen to get on board of these things when they're brand new.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. But yeah, for their skill system and their attribute system. Rolling only D6s, but like handfuls of D6s is great. And the one thing about Shadowrun and Earthdawn they kept the same. I didn't get into this because I didn't want to get into dice rolling, but in Shadowrun and Earthdawn, if you max out a die, you re-roll it again and add it to the total.
Yeah, I like that.
Or what is nowadays referred to as exploding dice.
Exactly. In both systems they do that. So they kept that in Earthdawn and they got it from Shadowrun.
Yes.
Now, I talked about getting out and buying all the books. Well, where can I find the book? I have a link for you right here. Now, obviously, you can't click on it. This is a video. But FASAgames.com. Go to the shop, and you'll find all of the games they sell. Now, first through fourth editions are all in there. So first, second, and third edition, first and second edition are PDF only. All right? So that's great. Great enough, but they're selling the fourth edition book for $45, which for a main source book is too much. It's too much, and it's not even hardcover; it's softcover. So I have to cry foul. If any of you are listening now, I got to tell you right now, I got to cry foul, because $45 to even play the game at all is too much money.
I don't know. That's a really thick book, though, man.
I know, but for to get you in the game, that's too much. To get you in the game, $35, I'll pay.
I don't know, man.
And
Do you know how much a player's handbook costs nowadays?
No, you don't get
It's
it.
about $50.
I got good news now. See, I put in the slide. Go to eBay, Backpage, Craigslist, whatever. I went to eBay. Guess what? You can get a brand new 4th edition Earthdawn book for.
That doesn't help the developers buying off eBay.
Hey, they had to buy the book, right?
Well, the first person did, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
$35. Hey, there you go. $35 get you in the game. Now, are you going to find all the supplemental books you're going to want once you're hooked? No, probably not. And Amazon's the exact same price as FASA. They're the only two websites I found that have all of these supplemental books. But to get you in the game, get you hooked, all you basically bare bones need to play the game is the player's guide.
That's true.
And if you can get that for $10 cheaper, and that's the difference between you buying the book and not buying the book, buy it.
I don't know, man. You could buy straight from the developer the core book for $45. But if you're, say, investing in 5th edition D&D, you're going to have to buy 3 books if you're the DM. Player's Handbook,
Okay,
DMG, and Monster Manual. And those are $50 each.
No, that's crazy. Now on the FASA website, you can get the PDFs only for half off,
which is good.
Yeah, which is great. Super. So if everyone has an iPad, you could buy the PDF, and you can put it on a cloud. You can all share it during your game session. Great. And that's for $22. Awesome. Do that. Just don't steal it. Don't pirate it.
Yeah, don't do that.
Even if you buy it on eBay, even if you buy it on Craigslist, even if you buy it on Backpage, you're still directly or indirectly supporting the developers that put their blood, sweat, and definitely tears, because this game has gone through so many hands and finally came back to FASA. And that means they fought for this thing.
If you have the means, I say buy it from FASA.
Yes, if you have the means, buy it from FASA, definitely. Directly support them.
Well, also that lets FASA know, hey, people are buying the book, we should make more books, or better books.
Exactly. Well, it's quicker. I mean, obviously they're going to know when people reorder, companies or resellers reorder books. Hey, I need more. I ran out. They're going to know then, but they're going to know immediately if you buy from their website.
That's right. You can buy from Amazon or something.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great.
I'm torn on the whole ordering thing. Here's why. Because of mainly Heathen Dogs, your Earthdawn reports over the last few. So I've broken down, went into my old boxes, and I dusted off all my Earthdawn stuff. In fact, I've got it stacked right next to the desk right now. I think I got like maybe 10 books. I've got the Parlink box set and the Bar Save box set, and I've got the second edition Earthdawn book. But anyway, because of your heartfelt talking of this, you actually influenced me to break it out, dust it off, and open up and reread them again because my current D&D group, we're going through that shifty change where one game master is done. He wants to take a little bit of a break, or he's getting burned out. The other one, well, he's been having fun, but he's not sure he's got something ready to go. So I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm just sitting back there like, okay, how you guys want to try something new? But before I can, spring it on them, I got to refresh my own memory. So anyway.
Oh yeah, no, and to help you out, if you decide to pull the trigger on this, if you Google Gen Con,
okay,
Earthdawn adventure, I believe there's one or two 4-hour adventures, because they go in 4-hour blocks.
Okay.
at Gen Con, and they decided to put it free on the internet for anyone to download if they want, and it's all there, all the characters there. You just pass out the characters, and it's a whole adventure for free.
So it's Earthdawn Gen Con?
Earthdawn Gen Con adventure. Google that. In the first 5 or 10 links, you're gonna find it. So go ahead and do that if you want a one-shot game to see if people bite. There it is.
No, because that was going to be another follow-up question. Was again, everything. Excuse me, everything I have is first edition. And
you okay? It sounds like you're going down. Sounds like you're rapidly aging, and you're starting.
No, he had some spit go the wrong way. I don't know. I don't.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, there was I've got all the first edition stuff, but I'm trying to remember. Was there a collection, or in the future, like when I stopped being interested in the game, was there a collection of adventures for quote unquote the Munchkins who just want to buy? Oh, let's buy that adventure. And then now I've got a campaign ready.
They did have in first edition, they did have, I believe it's called the Book of Heroes and Horrors, or just Heroes, where each book, Volume 1 and Volume 2, went through around 30 legendary people. And it gave you all the tools you need to make an adventure around each of those 30 scenarios.
Okay.
Now I don't know if they have the same thing for 4th edition, but from what I understand, 1st and 4th edition are not exactly plug and play into each other, but with very minor tweaks that work.
Now, like I said, getting back to the modern situation here, is if I was actually seriously going to do it, which I'm halfway on the thought about. I would go strictly 1st edition because, of course, I already have the stuff, and I really don't want to
have all those books, right?
I really don't want to spend the money on the current stuff. But if you can easily tweak them, then yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what I would have you do is get the PDF for 4th edition. Like I said, it's $22.50, and look it over, see if the changes are too big or small. If you wanna run the 4th edition, 1st edition. Now, the main thing is the later editions continue the story.
That's true.
So there's a lot more grand arcs in the later editions because they were able to make them after we stopped playing the game. So you'll have a even richer history to draw from. And all of your campaigns can run a little longer because you're not going to run out of official content.
Yeah. No, like I said, this current group, they're I like them, but we're all modern day lazy. It's
understood.
But the download thing with the PDF thing, well, they'll jump all over that because every time we play now, half the group doesn't even have books. They just look at their watch, their phone, or their tablet, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, this is what that spell does, or this is how we do that." And I just shake my head because I'm old school. I'm like, "No, I want a book in front of me.
I understand that.
I don't want.
I understand.
Well, the internet says, and Reddit says, like, no, they're not playing the game.
I understand. Now here's a bonus for this. If you download the PDF and put it in your personal cloud, have it open during gameplay for all of your members, they cannot reference Reddit or reference Google. They can reference your book. Then they'll really be playing. Now, if they want to have access to it when you're not playing, well, tell them download the fucking book. It's $22.50. I scratched it together. You can too.
Yeah, no, to be honest, it's like if you're really into a hobby, and this goes for any game system or any game, like now if you'll find the money. I mean, this is our hobby. We've all been doing this for 15, 20 years, so it's like money is not an issue.
I mean, I like to limit my expenditure, like for Magic the Gathering. You know, I put a max monetary limit on me, $100 a year.
Oh my God.
So I don't have any massively cool decks. I have decks that work, but I don't have like, oh dude, that card's like $80. It's like, no, my most expensive card that I ever bought was $18.50.
Can you actually play Magic on $100 a year?
You can because of Target. Target's my jam. Target, they have it not only base price for bought decks and little expansion deals, but they also have a 3 decks for $30. You get 3 pre-made decks plus 60 land for $30. And if you buy enough of those, you can make any deck you want.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. But anyway, back to Earthdawn. Like I said, if you want to put together an online website, Skype, and die rollers that everyone can see type game, then download the PDF, make it available to all players during the game so that they can reference it. And then if they want to have access to it outside the game, give them the link. Download it, and you know you'll know how successful you are if you have, say, how many people do you have in your group? If you would be game master,
including myself,
no.
There'd be me and 1, 2, 3, 4 players.
Okay, 4 players. If 2 of those players after your first adventure concludes buy the player's guide, you win. They're hooked. The other 2 are just douchey holdouts. Once they find out that these first 2 guys bought the book, they'll get it. And then you can start playing for real, because everyone's gonna know. Everyone's gonna know their role. They're gonna know their discipline. They're gonna know all this stuff. It's gonna be great. But like I said, for the first adventure, download from the Gen Con library, the free Gen Con library, because you'll have pre-made characters. You just pass them out. You just pass them out, and everyone has a role. And you tell them the role. You spend 10 minutes explaining the discipline, 10 more minutes explaining how you roll, how it works, and then they can go. It's great.